To make sure that everyone is seeing. First things first, all right? I think from the conversations that I'm hearing that we are starting to recognize that when I take my patty paper.
Oh.
What's up?
You keep going.
Okay. When I take that patty paper and I took angle 1 and I moved it on top of angle 5, what were they?
Congruent.
No.
Kelsey,
No mind.
Do you want us to turn it so we're match oh, never mind.
If I'm looking at angles 1 and 5?
Oh, 1 and 5.
Oh, I never mind.
You took angle 1.
No, not that one.
They're
I
both.
one.
Okay, I'm going to clarify in a second with the others. Let's see if I can grab a marker to
1
use.
and 5.
Okay.
That was congruent. 1 and 5 congruent.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hey, look. Angles 1 and 5. What are they?
Congruent.
Congruent. How do we know they're congruent?
Because they both make the same angle or whatever.
So they perfectly
match,
right?
Yes.
So we want to recognize.
Shut up, y'all.
Y'all are quickly about to lose points. I was scoring you okay because y'all are working, but you're quickly losing points because during the whole class discussion, you're interrupting me and others from learning. That's problematic.
1, 4, and 5.
We're going to get to that in a second. Yeah, 1, 4, and 5, and there's actually one more. But,
8.
okay, so we want to notice, the point that we're trying to look at is, do you see how those are in the same spot in their different sections?
Yes.
By the way, does anyone know what kind of transformation I can use to go from here up to here? So there are 3 transformations that... That's not a transformation. There are rotations. There are reflections.
On 360.
And there are translations.
Oh,
Translates.
So-
Translates.
I need y'all to notice, alright, because this is a part that we'll study later. You see how there's angle 1?
Yes.
And you see how I just move it down to angle 5?
Translates. Yeah.
And that is a translation. When they map onto each other, that's what that's called. When they map onto each other and they're the same, they perfectly match, they are congruent, okay?
Are 1 and 7 reflections?
Well, so you'd have to do 2 things. You'd have to translate, but then if you actually reflect, it won't be, so if I reflect, it would go like this. But do those match?
No.
No. That's a good thought, though. That's a good question, right? So you can reflect, they just don't match. So notice, do they look congruent?
Yeah.
1 and 7?
No. Oh, wait. No.
What kind of angle would we say 1 is?
A
2. What about 7? Acute. Is there any way for those to be congruent?
No.
No.
they is.
1 and 7?
Man, come look at my paper club.
That's because you do that.
1 and 7 are not congruent, bro.
Yeah, you do that paper.
Bro.
1 and 7.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, my fault. I done talking about
Golly, there's this thing called hearing. It helps. Just like reading.
8. I don't read.
Yeah, fix that. Okay.
I don't think I need to.
That's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Alright.
Language. Hell is a cuss word. Tell myself. What the you doing?
Terrence. I know you said worse. Secondly, it depends on the person.
So you
Hell is not a
so
cuss
you
word.
saying if I say what there ain't no cuss word?
Yes, because we're
Yes, but it depends how
differently. He was talking heavenly hands, basically.
Yes. There's a difference.
It depends how
So basically hell ain't no cuss word.
It depends on how you use it.
You can't say you don't use it the right way, so share.
Alright. Sorry I got us distracted. It is time to learn math. Let's focus. So, when we place angle 1 on top of angle 5, what appear to be true? They are congruent, okay? When you took angles 3 to angle 7, they appear to be what?
3 and 7. You meant 3 and 6.
No, ma'am. I meant 3 and 7. I'm looking at number 6 right now.
Translation.
Oh, yeah, they congruent.
So I want to point out a word Kelsey's using. What did you say?
Translation.
Doesn't it look like 3 has just been translated down to 7? Does that make sense? Okay. And 2 translates down to 6 and 4 down to 8. So does anyone know what we would call angles 1 and 5? Not that they're congruent, but there is a term in here. There is a term in here about what type of angles they are. Say it one more time. They are corresponding angles. Okay? So we want to recognize that those angles that match each other, right? Angle 1 matches angle 5. Angle 2 matches angle 6. Those angles are called corresponding angles. Okay? So make a note to yourself. I would probably circle this. Okay? And I would make a note that angles
What number is it?
in the same, it's number 6, angles in the same space just, what happened, what did we say happened to those angles? They were translated. So just translated are corresponding.
What's the opposite of exterior?
We're about to get into it.
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, we already learned it. Never mind.
Shut up.
Okay?
I know what it is.
Hold on. Now, actually I don't want that one. So I want y'all to look at this really quickly. What angle corresponds to angle 4 here?
8.
8. Okay, we good with that?
Yes.
Do those angles look like they are congruent?
No. They touch it.
These angles?
Well, oh, no.
Just the angle. Do they look congruent?
Yes. No.
Like this angle looks like it would match that angle?
No.
It would not. So why do they match here, but they're not matching here?
Because
Hold on. I have one person raise their hand first. Everyone else just started shouting. Kelsey, what are you thinking?
Because the green lines are parallel.
These are what?
They're not parallel.
They're
like
not
the
parallel.
others.
For they're not necessarily perpendicular. Huh?
Intersect.
They're going to touch, they're going to intersect. These are called skew lines. Lines that are neither parallel nor perpendicular. Actually, don't, let me look at that detail back up. I'm pretty sure they're called skew lines.
Yeah, this one says scoop.
Let me check and make sure that's the right term there. Okay? Anyways, regardless, what I need you to notice is for these relationships to work, these two lines have to be parallel. Okay? So when we look down here at number 7, in a complete sentence, describe the relationship of corresponding angles when lines are parallel.
Corresponding.
So when the lines
I didn't put it on those.
are, I know, but here's the thing. It's important to make the note that the lines are what?
Parallel.
The lines are what?
Corresponding.
Parallel.
The lines are parallel. When the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are what?
What?
Hey, y'all. The corresponding angles are what? Parallel. The parallel lines, the corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? When the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are congruent. Make sure you have that worded correctly, and instead of playing with your bandana, take some notes.
The corresponding lines are.
When the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are congruent. That's what you discovered, and that is a critical idea to moving forward.
Okay, don't try to kill. Anyway.
Hey, there's no need to be rude.
Is this how to go yet?
No.
You know what? I'd like to complain too about my students, and yet I don't complain about them like they complain
No,
about me.
I'm just tired.
I'm tired of you too. Sorry, I did not need to flame you like that. You are correct. All right.
I wasn't towards you. Just
My bad. I take it back then.
yeah.
Okay.
Just,
We got 10 minutes, 8 minutes left. Give me your best 8 minutes. All right. So, use a piece of patty paper with angle 3 on it, lay it on top of angle 6. So you see angle 3? I lay it on top of angle 6.
Is that congruent?
Angles can't be equal, they can be congruent. Their angle measures are equal. There we go.
are 1 and 8 congruent?
Yes, we'll actually talk about that in a second.
We
So-
translate and okay.
Notice, and when you take angle 4 and you laid it on angle 5, those were also congruent, okay? So,
Wait, what number you on now? You on number question?
on 8 and 9, okay? So, what we see here in a complete sentence, describe the relationship of alternate interior angles. I need you to write this down to understand what we mean by alternate interior. So, look at angle 4 and angle 5. Why do you think we might call them interior angles? They're on the inside of the what? Parallel lines. Okay? So alternate, and this really needs to go under 8 or 9, but alternate interior angles. So when we say alternate interior, we are talking about angles that are inside the two lines. Notice I will say not necessarily parallel, because you see angle 4 and angle 5 here? Angles 4 and 5? Are those still on the interior? Yes, right? So they don't have to be parallel lines to be alternate interior. It's just all these rules that we're coming up with. They have to be alternate interior. So interior means inside the two lines. What do we mean then by alternate? Opposite sides of the transversal disc. Perfect language. We want to recognize that what we mean by alternate is opposite sides of the transversal. Okay? So we need to recognize that alternate interior means inside the parallel lines on opposite sides of the transversal. So, just out of curiosity, does anyone have a guess what the alternate exterior angle would be
On the
to
outside?
angle 1?
8.
6?
8.
Well, hold on.
Okay, raise your hand if you think it's 8.
I can't see.
So this would be angle 8 right here.
Okay.
I got a handful over here. Jeremy, what do you think?
Wait, you said what?
Would 8 be alternate exterior? Yes? Why?
Because on the opposite side of the line.
If they're on the opposite side of the transversal, be careful you say that word transversal, because there's 3 lines there, right? Okay? Michaela, why would it possibly be exterior? It's on the outside of the lines, right? The mathematical words make sense when you learn how to break them down. No one broke this down for me when I was in high school, or when I took this in middle school, and it made me struggle. It's all there though. Alternate just means opposite sides of the transversal. Interior means inside the two lines. So, what would we need to write here for number 9? Hey, stop. Number 9.
Number 9?
What would we need to write? Number 9. So, I'll start us off. Alternate interior angles. Well, I'll put that at the end. But alternate interior angles seem to be what? Or are what? They're congruent. When lines are... Hey, what symbol symbol could I use to indicate that the lines are parallel? Parallel. So the triangle would go on the lines, but what symbol indicated things were parallel? The two vertical lines?
The little the tick mark.
You're thinking of congruent. So remember, when I said line L was parallel to line M, I used those two vertical lines to say they were parallel. When I put the triangles on the lines, it indicates they're parallel. Alright? The tick marks, remember that meant that the line segments were congruent. Okay? Alright. So alternate interior angles are congruent when lines are parallel. Make sure you have that down. Moving to number 10, using a piece of padding paper with 1 on it.
Good afternoon, Hillcrest. There's been a phone that's been turned in, located in a girl's bathroom. If you can identify it, you can come pick it up from the office.
You may go ahead and pack up. Hey, keep your padding paper in your notebook with your pieces of paper. Turn your calculators into the back and put the rulers up when you leave class.
If you're interested.
Huh?
Patty
cake? It's called patty paper for Because didn't know that. Could you separate? I literally just said, put the patty paper in your notebook.
You'll find smart heads for voting most of your own school.
We will use this patty paper again on Monday.
Test on Wednesday, October 6th.
Put up your rulers and your calculators.
Every student is if you cannot receive
If you need homework that you need to make up, come see me.
Don't forget, come out to our seven. I'm going to put down the North Ridge now. Have a fabulous Friday and go fast.
Does anyone else need homework that they need to make up from last unit?
Bro, stop playing with me, bro.
I
said she.
Bro, I'm not in the fucking mood, bro. Move. Stop putting your hands on me. This is my last time telling you, bro.
Hey.
Don't touch me no more. I swear to God.
Terrence, come here. And Ari, tell me. Get over here, Terrence. Ari, I need you to come over here as well so we can talk about it. Terrence, no, there's no way you can sit there and pretend like you don't know what happened. No, because I know how you act, and I believe that you irritated Ari.